She don't swallow kids, she swallows coins. Hey, what's going on, Scatterbrains? Thank you for coming back to another episode of Scatterbrains. See, my name is Travis, and I am here to do a review. I kind of bit my tongue. I'm here to do a review for Married at First Sight, Season 9, Episode 11. Last week I said the wrong episode number, so it's Episode 11. So, there are a couple of housekeeping things we need to get out of the way before we get into this review. On Wednesday, this week has been busy. It's the first full week that I've been back at work. School starts back on Monday, so I didn't watch the show on Wednesday. Yesterday was open house. Couldn't do the video yesterday. But while I was laying in bed, I thought, let me just check and see how my videos are showing up in search results. So I looked up Married at First Sight review, and only a few of my videos came up from this season. And I looked up MAFS reviews and, same thing. And that's the reason I made the video that I made last, as far as y'all search under y'all's account and see what you come up with. So this is the thing. So I appreciate everybody giving me feedback on what I should or shouldn't do. I have tagged my videos the same way since I've been doing reviews for Married at First Sight in season 3. So when you do a YouTube video, you have your title, your description, and then you have like your search key terms. My key terms have always remained the same. It's always been Married at First Sight, MAFS. I'll put the city that they're there. Then I'll put season whatever, episode whatever, review, recap. All those kinds of things are in my search terms. The only thing that's changed is the title. I stopped spelling out Married at First Sight, and I just started putting MAFS, and then this season I put Charlotte. And I just learned recently that you can put hashtags in your videos. Now, my videos, even after I stopped typing out Married at First Sight, were still performing the same as they were when I had typed in Married at First Sight. So for the people who said, well, you need to spell out the whole title, it is not going to make a difference, because even the people who searched MAFS reviews or reviews still weren't really seeing a lot of my videos. So to me, I don't really know what it is. I don't know if it's an algorithm thing, but my thing is, if the title of my video is one way and my search terms are one way, why are my videos not showing up? Why is it that the people who are subscribed to me are the people who are guaranteed to see my videos? And that it is strange. Now, I offended some people, or I made some people feel some kind of way when I talked about how strange it was in comparison to Stephanie Lee's Married at First Sight videos and how her videos are showing up in the search results. As I said in my stream, whenever that was, like last week, I gave props to her because she has awesome views for her reviews. She is a professional therapist or expert or something to that point. So she is an expert in this. I am not. I'm just here to give commentary. I don't feel like it is a competition between the two of us. Also, I have already reached out to her. I have spoken to her and made sure that it was clear so that she didn't think that there was any of this negative stuff coming from me. So any negativity that comes from what I said is coming from the person who interpreted it as being negative. So to the people in the comments who felt like I was taking a dig at her, you're too sensitive. That's really what it all boils down to. Get out of your feelings. Nobody said her channel was bad. Nobody said her channel didn't deserve what it had. I didn't say any of that. I used her as an example because from where I stand, she is the top reviewer of Married at First Sight, and all of her videos were showing up, and I didn't see barely any of mine. So if you felt some kind of way about that, oh freaking well. And to the people who feel like my videos are unprofessional, stop watching. Unsubscribe, go find you somebody else to watch. Because if my wife steps out the shower and she's naked, I'm gonna look at her. If my child runs up to me and wants to get my attention, I'm gonna look at her. If Oreo starts barking, I'm gonna tell him to shut up. So let's just be clear that nobody in my comments is ever going to police the way that I run my channel. So if you do not like the way that I'm running my channel, I suggest you go find another channel. Because this is how I've been, this is how I will be. So now that we're clear, let's get into the review for Married at First Sight Season 9, Episode 11. Pull up my notes. Had to get some of y'all together real quick because y'all think y'all can just talk to me in your kind of way. Something that I thought about though. I don't want this video to feel like, oh, he's in a mood. I'm not. I can get people together and still be happy. Something that I think, and I probably even shouldn't say this out loud, since Lifetime is devoted to this experiment that doesn't work, I have an idea for Lifetime executives. And I don't know if anybody's ever said this before, so if somebody has, cool, it ain't me copying nobody. It's just something I thought about. We have Married at First Sight, and we see how that's going. Maybe a new show idea should be Remarried at First Sight. Could you imagine? This time around, it's people who have been married before, who are now divorced, who are marrying somebody for the first time who they haven't met. Could you imagine how good of a show that would be? So you've already been married once, and whatever baggage you know you have is what it is. How would that kind of show look? Remarried at First Sight. Y'all, I can't say you heard it here first, because I ain't never heard it before. I ain't never heard nobody pitch that idea. But just know, today, August whatever 2019, I feel like that was my idea. I might be wrong. But y'all let me know if y'all would watch Remarried at First Sight. I think that's a good idea. I think that'd be a pretty fun, interesting show to watch with all the other trash we have on TV. So not much happened in this episode. So that's why I'm okay taking all this time talking about everything else, because it wasn't really a very interesting episode. So at the title of this episode was Secrets of the Past. So the main premise of this was supposed to be that the couples were supposed to get in touch with a deeper level of understanding, a deeper level of emotional intimacy, and, you know, talk about their childhood and their secrets from their past. So at the beginning of the episode, or towards the beginning, Mamber invited everybody to the NASCAR driving experience that is up at the Speedway in Concord, which is, you know, right outside of Charlotte. So, but only 3 couples were there. Kyrus was not there. Everybody got to ride or race in a car. It was fun enough. However, at the beginning, Elizabeth was so excited about being there. She started talking while the instructor man was trying to give instructions, and Jamie told her, did I write down the quote? He just told her to shut up. He said, like, will you shut up in front of everybody? And it made her feel some kind of way. So at that point, she shut down. She didn't participate. And more so than anything, this is just a reflection of how their relationship is. When they categorize it as a roller coaster, that's really what it is. It's a roller coaster. It's up and down all the time. Excuse me. So she said that she felt stupid and she didn't participate. Then later on, while they were there, after Jamie finished racing, he went to talk to Elizabeth, and she was trying to talk to him, and some other lady, not sure if she was with the NASCAR staff, which I'm pretty sure that's what she was with. She said, can I talk to you for a second? We don't know who she was talking to. We just saw the caption at the bottom of the screen, the subtitle. And she was like, hold on, I'm not finished. Gosh, can I just talk? And she kind of flipped out on the lady. So I thought that was not right of her. I thought Jamie was wrong for telling her to shut up in front of everybody, because he could have said it in a nice way. He'd be like, yo, I know you're excited, but hold on, let's get the instructions first, and then you can tell us all about what you know about NASCAR. But I thought she was wrong for going off on that lady, because you should have kept that energy for Jamie. So also what everybody did during this episode was they met with Dr. Viviana. All right, so yeah, my daughter's in the background. Yeah, she's making noise. And again, as I say, if you don't like it, turn the video off. All right, so we can start with Kyrus. So early at the very beginning of the episode, they went to a soca fit class, which is a Caribbean type of dance. It is a way for them to make things more intimate, and all it did was make things more awkward. We had to be subjected to watching Iris attempt to pop her back on Keith, and Keith looked like he was enjoying it. I mean, he was really focused, but all in all, I just felt very uncomfortable, because to me, Iris's maturity comes off just very childlike, and I was just like, why am I watching this little girl do that? Granted, I know she's not a little girl, but that's how I felt. So it was just, I didn't want to watch it. It just looked forced. That's the key word. It looked very forced. So, excuse me. When pretty much everybody talked to Viviana, she tasked everyone with telling the other person a secret, and to take that person, your spouse, to visit your childhood home or wherever it is you came from. So we did not get to see all 8 people share a secret and take their spouse to their childhood home. So we just kind of got like a little bit from each couple. So continuing on with Kyrus, what Viviana also did was she showed each couple a clip of their interaction for them to kind of like analyze. So for them, the clip that she showed for Kyrus was when they had been given the maybe the fishbowl exercise some episodes ago where they were supposed to ask questions to each other, and Keith had to ask her how she would initiate sex, and she was just completely clueless on how she would do it. Do it, no pun intended. But but so I don't remember what they talked about because it wasn't important. But later on, when it was time to talk about their secrets, I guess in the preview, they started doing the previews during the Millionaire Show, so I didn't really know what was supposed to happen during this episode. But last week, Iris was supposed to tell this secret that only her mom, and her doctor knew. And it made some of us, when I heard about it, feel like, oh, well, maybe we're going to find out why she's not really doing it to him like that. Out of all secrets she could have come up with, her secret was that she swallowed a quarter when she was a child. She was on the school bus and she had change and she couldn't figure out where to put the change. So for her as a child, the smartest place to put the change was in her mouth. In her mouth. I could, I should, but I won't. And the bus went over a hump, made her swallow a quarter. That was her secret. And to me, that was a childish secret. Like, you were so embarrassed about that. And I think at this point, I now have come to the realization that I don't think Keith is really in this like I thought he was. I think Keith is keeping up an appearance for the camera so that Iris doesn't look crazy, but I don't see them making it. I do not see them making it. That is, I've changed my prediction. I don't think they're going to make it. So because he also brings up again her emotional maturity, because, it's almost like she's not taking these things serious. And it's hard for me to believe that you don't have any secrets you can share with your spouse. The only secret is you swallowed a quarter. A quarter? You didn't think of anywhere else you could put the change. You can put it in your sock. You can put it in your shoe. Did you have a book bag? Did you have pockets? You didn't have none of that? Your mouth was the only open thing you had? But anyway, so they go back to Keith's childhood home. Now, Iris had already been there once when Keith's grandmother passed. So we don't really know if she saw the house, but we were showing her the room as if it was her first time. Whether it was or not, I don't know. He does talk to his mom later while they're there, and his mom asked him, does Iris make him happy? And interesting enough, Keith said he didn't know. And I think that also helps me feel like Keith probably will not, that this is just not gonna work out. Next week there's gonna be a couples trip, so that's something we can all look forward to. And don't hit the tripod. I can't pick you up though. You can stay right there, but I can't pick you up. All right, moving on to Degory. She asked him early on in the episode why he thinks they were matched. He gives his answer. She asked him, did he ask for physical things for the person that he would be matched with? And he said he asked for someone shorter than him with a pretty smile and beautiful eyes. So he asked her what are the differences. She starts to answer, he cuts her off, and she feels like he's mansplaining, so Deanna ends up just kind of shutting down. And that is the clip that Viviana shows when she meets with them. So what they do is they go to Deanna's hometown, and that is when she talks about prom and the guy that she was with when she went to prom. And he is kind of the catalyst that pushed her into this weird space relationship-wise. She talked about how they went off to college and things just were different, and they became really mean to each other. So that's kind of why Deanna is the way that she is, expressing her feelings wise. And then at the end of the episode, they go to Topgolf, which I went to for the first time maybe like a few weeks ago, and it is super fun. I had never been to Topgolf before. I always drove past it, wanted to go, and then me and some of my coworkers went, and it was a really good time. So they go to Topgolf for her birthday. So what happened to her?
She ran into the wall because she had your hat on over her face. And she was walking through the house and she ran into the wall.
So Mamber. So when they talk to Viviana, they tell her that they're not having sex anymore. They're not doing anything as far as affection wise, no hugs, no kisses, no anything, because they want to see, is going to be anything left once all that is taken away. And as I've said in other reviews, I think that that's why they're going through so many issues, is because they got so quick to the physical stuff that they didn't actually establish the emotional connection. So that is what they're trying to see, if that is even there once you take all that physical stuff away, which I think is smart, but Viviana is concerned about it, but she's going to support it. So, they're trying to increase their emotional intimacy, and I don't really have a lot for them. They did visit his childhood house in Lillington, North Carolina, which I have no clue where that is. And the house was blurred, which I thought was interesting. And I wonder what the story is behind why they had to blur the house out. But yeah, that's really all I have for them. And they go on a hike later on in the episode. I think they're probably at like Crowder's Mountain or something like that. And then finally, Jezebeth. So, they are, when we see them again, we're met back up with them after the NASCAR thing where they're still arguing, which is per usual for them. And she comes out and talks to him, and she gets really, really upset with him, and she pushes the table, and stuff falls off the table, and the camera falls over, and he's just like, so that's how upset she is. And my thing is, like, I don't understand why they're even putting themselves through this at this point. They might as well just let it go. It's not serving them any purpose at this juncture. Just let it go. I mean, they should have both just called it quits during commitment day, but I guess, they still got to get that check. But Viviana shows up. Beth really didn't want to talk to her, but she ends up talking to her anyway. And, Jamie doesn't take responsibility for what he said to her at NASCAR. And what Viviana helps them to see is that they use the word divorce as a reassurance that the other person isn't going to leave, because they're both really insecure in this marriage. So, once they kind of come to that conclusion, they say, I think it gives them a new perspective and feeling like, okay, well, maybe we need to try to do things differently. And maybe that's the reason why we're doing things the way we are. So later on, he cashes in a coupon, like the free hug, free whatever coupon that she gave him early on in the episode. And he grabs this like tie thing. And I'm like, what kind of freaky stuff are y'all about to do? But thank God we didn't see it. And then we visit her childhood home, or her childhood field, because wherever this thing was, like the house from the Wizard of Oz had got dropped on the Wicked Witch of the East. And there was nothing there. I mean, it was like just sticks and stuff. So it makes her really emotional, because whatever childhood Elizabeth had has made her into the woman that she is now. And it gives some perspective for Jamie, because he's like, oh, okay, so you're not as materialistic as I thought you were. That's why you act the way you act, because you had such humble beginnings, as she would say. And so I thought it was good that he was able to see her in a different light, but they ended up arguing on the way back from there, because they started talking about NASCAR, and she said that she didn't regret how she acted. And he was like, you don't regret messing up people's day? And so, it's their usual. If it was not for Jezebeth, this show would not be as interesting as it is. They are the ones that are keeping this show afloat at this point. Mamber's close second, and then Kyrus, and then Nagori. They're the ones that's the order of who's keeping the show interesting. So that's all that really happened in episode 11. It wasn't a lot of anything, Next week they're gonna be a couples trip, and I don't know if a couples retreat. I don't know if they've ever done that before. I don't know if they did that last season, because I stopped watching last season. So y'all can let me know down in the comments if they did do that last season. So I apologize that the video was late. I apologize that I had to start it off the way that I did. It just is what it is. Sometimes I just got to let y'all know what time it is. And I appreciate everybody who left suggestions. I appreciate everybody who was trying to come to my defense. It's not, you didn't have to, but it's cool. And to the people who, like I said, have an issue with my channel, you already know what you can do. Nothing over here is going to change. This is not my real job. YouTube pays me, but YouTube doesn't pay me enough to quit my real job. So until that happens, I won't look at this as a real job. I'm cool with feedback and everything. It's all right, but just know that I don't have to take it. But y'all know what y'all got to do. Rate, comment, subscribe, share, because clearly if somebody looking married at first sight, they're not going to find me in the first place. And there's something else I was supposed to say. I don't remember. Something else I was supposed to tell y'all, but I can't remember what it is. Oh well. Guess it's not important. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.